that is something that is hard to get in the routine of doing. Okay. I know that exercise does not come natural for everybody. I want to give you some pointers as to how to get going into an exercise program and what to do for your exercise program and what you want to include, and some pointers of things that you might try for variety and things like that. So the first thing I want y'all to start doing is to each week think about, okay, what do I want to do for my exercise? For some of us, it may just be walking. For some of us, it may be going to the gym. For some of us, we may have a piece of equipment at home that we use. There's a variety of different things that we can do for exercise. There's also different varieties of things, like we have cardiovascular training, which walking falls under. We have strength training, which that would be buying dumbbells, going to the gym, anything that's going to add pressure to your muscle. And then we have flexibility. All those are forms of exercise, and I do encourage do something, okay, every day. There are specific guidelines that I am going to go over as we work through this, and I'm going to kind of demo a little exercises for you. But that's kind of what we want to first kind of think about. Okay, what do I think I could do, without, what would be the most convenient to me? And would I do better doing something at home? Do I drive right past the track? You kind of answer those questions and kind of see what you think you might want to do. Another pointer I might say is each week when you're mapping out what you're going to do, go ahead and set appointment times for your exercise, okay? Because what I have found over the years is people will start out every day with good intentions of doing their exercise, but by the end of the day, they still haven't done it and it's time to go to bed. Okay, so each week map out, okay, do you want to exercise at the same time every day? Or do you have kids and you can't do it every day after work? So sometimes you need to do it at lunch. Sometimes you may need to get up early. Go ahead and pencil what you're going to do and when you're going to do it into a calendar. It may be in your phone. You may use the one on your desk. Whatever it is you use to mark your doctor's appointments and things like that on, use that to map out your exercise, okay? Each day, whenever you do your exercise, go ahead and log it in to something, whether it's a little notebook, into your phone or something, so you can check it off as completed. I finished that task for the day. This log in your exercise also helps make sure that you get your appointments in, okay? And the appointments are the times for the exercise. It helps you by being able to reschedule. If you see, you had planned to do it on Wednesday at 4 o'clock, but something came up. I hear teachers say often a meeting was called. Well, if the meeting was called and you weren't able to do it, okay, so we've got 2 days. If we did 5 days a week, we've got 2 days left. We can map it in those days. So that's the purpose of logging it. Also, sometimes when you log your exercise, you can write down benefits that you're seeing from your exercise, because sometimes when we don't see the weight loss that we're wanting to take place, then we get discouraged with our exercise. So we're going to need other things that help us to focus on why we need to be exercising. It may be that we can walk further, that we can take the stair, we see the stairs getting easier, or it may be that our blood pressure is getting lower, or we did lose a few pounds. Okay, so go ahead and log your exercise. That way, okay, I'm seeing some benefits from this. I need to keep doing it. Even if it made you feel better. Like if you started exercising and usually the first 15 minutes are the worst, okay? But after the first 15 minutes, most people start feeling better, okay? So if you do feel better after that and you can see that it made stress go away, things like that, write that down too, because you'll see the benefits of your exercise. Also, I might point out too, with this time of year, if you do pick an outdoor activity, have a backup plan, because when it's cold and raining, most people will not go outside, Okay, so we do want to make sure that we're getting our exercise in, because consistency is a key to exercise. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're consistent. If you exercise 1 week and then you don't do it for 3 weeks, well, it kind of canceled out what you did that 1 week that you did exercise. So we want to make sure that we're consistent with it. We stay as consistent as we can. I understand that sometimes you're going to get sick, you're going to miss a week. Sometimes you're going to miss 2 days out of the week. Or, just kind of, it's going to kind of vary, but on the most, try to make sure that you get your exercise in consistently. Okay. So have backup plans too for the bad weather. Some suggestions that I have, indoor walking. Sometimes people pick places like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, to go just do some indoor walking if they don't have a gym membership. Of course, if you have a gym membership, you can use, if they've got a track, you can use the track. If not, you can use the treadmills and other various of things. If you don't want to do any of that, you don't want to leave home, I suggest you use some YouTube videos, okay? You can Google basically whatever type of exercise you like to do. If it's walking, you can Google indoor walking, and it'll give you they'll give you usually options, 10, 20, 30, and it'll guide you through a guided walking. They also have chair walking. They have yoga, Zumba. They have lots of things that are home versions that you'll just simply, I use my phone when I do it. I just pull it up on my phone and follow through, because I like to use stuff like that too, because that way I don't have to think about my own exercise. I can just say, hey, okay, today I want to do spin, and I want somebody to lead me through a spin class. I'm going to hop on my exercise bike that I have at home, and this person's going to guide me through about whether I'm pedaling fast, I'm pedaling hard against tension, and things like that. So think about things like that, and put a little research into things like that you do. There's some really good, most of them out there, if you can kind of look up their credentials. The American College of Sports Medicine is what we here at the Wellness Center get, the guidelines that we go by. So if you kind of look the people up and see if they follow American College of Sports Medicine, if they follow ACE, if they follow National Strength Training, some of those are some of the ones that if they follow those, then they're good ones to watch. There's On Demand, that most of those that I've watched, they are very good. They follow the specific guidelines that you want to follow for things. If you are beginning in your exercise routine, you've never exercised before, if you are Google searching, make sure to put in beginner, okay? Because they will have different exercises in different levels. It'll usually be beginner, intermediate, and advanced, okay? So you will want to start with beginner. If you try the beginner and it's too easy for you, then you can go to the more advanced ones. But that's kind of what we want to kind of get going into a routine, is map it out, get it set as appointments, and then we're ready to follow through. Okay, so I would also suggest that if you're not in habit of exercising, to set reminders on your phone, make yourself little notes, because what I see happen a lot is what I was talking about in the beginning. We plan on doing it all day and we just simply forget about it because we're not in habit of doing it. Okay. There's things that I don't really like to do that I have to set timers or a special time to do that, because I don't really like doing it. And we have a tendency to not keep on our mind things that we don't enjoy doing. Okay, so do set reminders and make sure that you're kind of getting it. And definitely, if you're not going to be doing your exercise at the same, it's a little bit easier to get in the habit of doing your exercise if you do it at the same time every day. But not everyone has the schedule that they can do that. So if you don't have the schedule that you can do that, definitely set the reminders. That way you don't get all the way home and remember you were supposed to stop at the track. Okay. Now, these are a few guidelines that I want you to kind of go by as far as when you're thinking about what you're going to do for your exercise. As I said, anything you're doing that you're moving at is going to be better than not doing anything. But there are specific guidelines that we go by for weight loss and weight maintenance, okay? Cardiovascular exercise, you want to, if you're trying to lose weight or maintain your weight, you want to try to do that 5 times a week for at least 20 to 30 minutes, okay? So if you're trying to lose weight or maintain your weight, that's what you want to do. Cardiovascular training is going to be anything that elevates your heart rate and makes you winded. So that's where walking, bicycling, Zumba, things that make you breathe a little bit heavy, that all falls into that category. Okay, so anything like that that you enjoy doing, you can do. Now, we do suggest that when you're doing cardiovascular training, that you get your heart rate up into your heart rate training zone. Okay, your heart rate training zone is going to be arranged to where you're breathing heavy, but you can still talk. You can use the rate of perceived exertion scale, which means like 0, you're not doing anything, and 10, you can't even talk to me. We don't want to be at 10, okay? We want to be in the middle, kind of at 5, to where you can say a few words and then you might need to take a deep breath. Okay, so you could say a sentence and then you need to take a deep breath. That's going to be considered cardiovascular, and you'll be working within that training heart rate zone. Okay, when you do begin exercise, any form of exercise, whether it's cardiovascular or strength training, you will always want to warm your muscles up. So that means start slow. So you won't start out in your highest intensity, okay? So don't just, walk up to the track and just start running or something. Just start real slow, kind of work your way into it. That's how your muscles will respond better to that. You'll be less likely to have an injury. So you warm up, you do your cardiovascular. You want to, like I said, try to do it for 20 to 30 minutes. But if you're not cardiovascular fit or you're not in shape to do it that length of time, do what you can and work up, okay? Because we don't want you to overdo it. It's a lifestyle change that you're wanting to get into. So we don't want you to overdo it to where you get hurt, okay? So you make small changes. You may just want to start with 10 or 15 minutes and then just gradually increase. Or whatever you can do. It may be 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes and gradually work up. But cardiovascular, you do want to do 5 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes. Strength training exercises, that's going to be anything that's weight bearing to your muscle, that your muscle has resistance against. And strength training helps us to keep our muscle. After about the age of 25, we all start losing muscle. And sometimes that could be why we gain weight, is because it's kind of slowed our resting metabolism down. Because the more muscle that you have in your body, the higher your resting metabolism is. Strength training also helps with things like bone density and balance. Things that, again, as we age, we have a tendency to lose that. And a lot of times it's because we're losing muscle. So we want to try to keep up that muscle. So we want to do strength training at least twice a week per muscle group, okay? So we do suggest a basic strength training program. Now, immediately after surgery, you cannot do strength training exercises much because you can't lift anything over 10 pounds. But if you're just thinking about surgery or you're 6 weeks out, then it's highly encouraged that you start a strength training program. And like I said, strength training is going to be anything that's weight bearing to the muscle. Strength training can be done at home exercises. You can buy resistance tubings. You can buy dumbbells, or you can go to the gym. There's other varieties of things. You can buy Bowflex machines at home. They have resistance training on them. There's variations that we can do for the strength training. I'm going to take you through like a few strength training exercises here, but there are videos also for that. You just have to Google it specifically for that. And if you've never done that before, start with the basic. If you still are a little bit unsure about it, you might want to do personal training. That is a good reason to do personal training, is to learn about strength training and learn the proper form of strength training. Because that can help you work through a basic program that you're doing it correctly. Also, flexibility is going to be included in an exercise program. Flexibility, as we keep exercising, keep moving around, some of us even just standing at our job, the more we repeatedly do that and we don't stretch, the tighter our muscles have a tendency to get. So after you exercise, when your muscles are really warm, whether it be walking, whether it be strength training, you'll want to make sure you include stretching, okay? And as I get older, I like to do a little stretching just in the morning when I first get up, just because I feel a little stiff. So, some of us may do it right after we exercise, and others of us may pick to do flexibility daily. Okay. Especially people who like yoga, because yoga is considered flexibility. So those people may pick to do it daily, and that is perfectly fine. But you definitely want to do it at the end of your workout to make sure you're lengthening all your muscles. Let's see. All right. And each thing, do remember, y'all, I can't stress enough. Remember to gradually increase. Do not try to go walk with a group of friends that have been walking for a while and keep up or do the distance that they've been doing. Work at your own pace, okay? It is fine, and I encourage group exercise because a lot of times that will motivate you to go, okay? But do remember to pace yourself, because the last thing we want is for you to get hurt or have an overuse injury and not be able to exercise at all, okay? So that's what we want to kind of focus on, is that we're making a lifestyle change and we gradually want to make it. So next I want to do a few exercises. All right, so did I lose connection or?
I can still hear you.
Okay, you can't. Okay, I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to take this off just so it's not flapping the whole time. Okay, so I'm going to start with I was talking about the chair exercises, because even if you have joint problems, hips, knees, back, anything like that, you can usually always do some form of chair exercise, because sitting in the chair is going to take the pressure off your knees, hips, back, things like that. So you can always usually do that. So I'm just going to start out with a little chair walking. So like if you wanted to start warming up like this, just with some slight movement, I'm just lifting my legs, pumping my arms, and that's giving me a little exercise, okay? Now, you can take the intensity. I'm going to do a quicker version of this so that I can get through everything. But like chair walking, you can, put your tunes in and do it. You can look up the video and follow it. But you can do lots of different exercises from the chair. So we can take it up to a faster, more like a run. Okay. And you can do this in intervals if you wanted to. If you could do this for, 30 seconds, but you couldn't do it for a minute, do it for 30 seconds. Okay, we could take it down slower. We can also do jumping jacks from a chair. We simply just lift our arms and legs out, pull in, go out, pull in. And I promise you can give yourself a very good workout. Now, sometimes you could do these in counting them. So you might do 20 and then move back to the walking, okay? Or you could do them for time, your choice, okay? Another one that I like to do is like skating. So you'll push across, arm reaches across, leg goes back, and then the other way. So you're sitting on the edge of your chair the whole time, low impact, but it'll really get your heart rate up. If you're moving, it's a little different. So your muscles like doing different things. And you can go through these things. See, it's kind of making me winded, getting my heart rate up. That would be considered a cardiovascular routine. If you went through all those exercises and it got your heart rate up, that would be considered a cardiovascular routine. And like I said, you can look all these up. If you want a video to follow so that you got something to look at that times you and things, just type in beginner chair workout. You can also do this with intervals with your strength training, or you could do just your strength training separate. Now, a few strength training things that you might want to do from the chair. First, you might want to start just getting up and down out of the chair, which would be considered squats. So you just come up out of the chair, then you go back down and barely tap that chair and come back up again. All right, now typically when you're doing strength training exercises, like I said, we want to move through the muscle groups. You'll want to do about 10 to 12 reps typically, and you'll want to do it at least twice a week, okay? So 10 to 12 reps, and then twice a week. If you can't do 10 to 12, do what you can and work up, okay? Just work up doing what you can do. You can also do front leg extensions for your quadriceps. Can y'all see that part? Let me move back. But you can simply work your quadricep just by sitting up nice and straight in the chair and just lifting and lower, lift and lower. That's a good way to work that quadricep muscle. Now working your hamstring, the back of your leg, you just sit out to the edge of your chair and then you just pull your leg in. Just slide it on the floor. You might put a paper plate or something under your foot so that it slides easier on the floor if you're doing it on carpet. That sometimes will make you get a little bit more of a hamstring work with that. All right, so that's a few leg exercises. We've got the squats where you went up and down out of the chair. Okay, we've got those straight-legged leg lifts where you extend, point that toe, sit up nice and straight, and then lift as high as you can and lower. And we've got that hamstring curl where you pull in. All right. Now let's do a few upper body exercises. For biceps, I would slide back in the chair, get you a good back support. Abs are tight, sit up nice and straight, and then you're just going to curl up and down. And that's going to work your bicep, the front of your arm. And again, you would do 10 to 12 reps. You probably would just want to start out with one set, but you can work up to 2 and 3 sets. Okay, typically between each reps, you would want to rest your muscle for about 30 seconds to a minute. Okay. Another good one to do is a shoulder press, because usually we lose muscle in our shoulders pretty quickly. So you just push straight up to do shoulders. All right, now one that everybody always asks for is triceps, okay? For triceps, just take your weight and go kind of behind your head, and you want to kind of use your opposite hand and go between your elbow and your shoulder, and you're just going to push straight up. Just push straight up with it. And this one you're going to need to do on each side. So you'll do your reps, then you'll just swap to the other side and just press straight up. You might want to kind of do these in front of a mirror just to make sure that you're keeping the proper form, like with your elbow and stuff. It's not, you don't have to, but you know, to kind of make sure you're keeping proper form, you might want to do that. Usually at a gym, you do them in front of a mirror, but you don't have to if you don't have that available, but if you want to, that would be great. We might want to do chest. To do chest, you're just going to simply come with your arms up just like this and come forward. Now, if you don't have any dumbbells, you can use cans at home. You can use, if you want to start with no weight, just the movement of your arms is going to be just moving in these positions. Sometimes the weight of your arm would be a good exercise. But soup cans, milk jugs, things like that, that you can kind of adjust the weight that you've already got at home, those would be good options to use. All right, now we need one for back. So to work the back of your body, you're just going to simply lean forward with your abs held tight, and then you're going to squeeze your back together, just like that. Okay, so we did biceps, we've done biceps, we've done triceps, okay? We've done shoulders, like that. We did chest, going here and back in. And then we did back here. Okay, so that kind of walks you through those. For some abdominal exercises, that's usually one that I get lots of questions about working your ab. I will say that you can't really spot reduce. I'm sorry to say that, but just because you have more weight in your abdomen, if you do 5 abdomen exercises, that's not going to make you necessarily lose weight in your abdomen, okay? That's why we need to work all the muscles of our body and do a variety of different things because it kind of transforms our body into a new shape, basically. But some good abdominal exercises from the chair. You're just going to simply cross your hands over your chest, and then you're going to slide it. You are slid out to the edge of your chair, and you're going to go back and tap your chair, and then just slowly come up. Tap your chair and slowly come up. And this is a really good ab exercise. You'll contract your abs as you're coming up. Very good. You can also do a chair crunch. To do a chair crunch, you're just going to bring your hands behind your head and you're just going to lean slightly forward and back. When I do this, I just push through my heels to push my low back against that. So you'll just kind of push your back, squeeze your abs and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. You can also add a knee lift to that if you want to. That just works your obliques a little bit more on the sides of your abs. Kind of give you a little variation. All right, so that basically would take you through like a basic strength training exercise. If you have had bariatric surgery, I do encourage you to use the 8-week membership at the Wellness Center because I do take you through strength training exercises or home programs. If you prefer the home program, you just need to let me know which is available. So that kind of is a basic strength training. Now I want to go over a few flexibility things for you so that you can, at the end of your workout, you can make sure you get some flexibility in. Okay, so, and you might want to use these too, like if you've just been standing up all day, sometimes our muscles get tight. I know when I'm standing up out here on the fitness floor, I'll get kind of tight, and before I go home, I like to do some stretches. That way my muscles don't tighten up and I feel all stiff when I get out of the car. So you might want to just kind of include that in your daily routine. All right, so the first one I want to start out with is a hamstring stretch, and you're just going to simply sit on the edge of your chair, flex your toe, keep your knee as straight as you can, and then you're just going to lean forward. And you're going to feel a pull when you do that in the back of your leg, in your hamstring. And just hold that. You want to hold that stretch. Try to do 30 seconds to a minute, because they say that we gain the most flexibility if we can hold those stretches for at least a minute. So try to do 30 seconds to a minute. Sometimes when you're really tight, you may only be able to hold them for 10 seconds. So if that's the case, start with 10 seconds and then gradually work up. Okay, so that would be a good hamstring stretch. Now, a quadricep stretch. Now, not everyone can do this stretch. We do often need it a lot. But if you can't grab hold of your foot like that, then grab your pants leg and you just want to pull your knee in close. Keep your hips pointed forward and just kind of look forward. Okay, and you just use your pants. If you can't use anything, you can't grab sometimes your flexibility, you can't grab that, then just stand with it up. Just kind of stand with it up and point the hips forward. That'll give it a little stretch too. And you can do almost any stretch by laying on the floor too. So if you want to do any of those where you're laying on the floor, you can look those up online too for quadricep, hamstring, all those different stretches. A hip stretch that I like to do from a chair is one where you just put your foot up, just put one foot up on top of your knee, and then you're just going to lean your body forward, and you're going to feel a stretch in your hip. And you just, again, want to hold it for 30 seconds to a minute or 10 seconds, whatever you can do. You will want to do both sides. Just kind of hold it a bit. And then if you do arm exercises, you'll probably want to stretch your arms. So to do a few arm exercises, you simply reach across your body. This is going to stretch your shoulder into your triceps, and then cross it over to the other side. Now, if you want to stretch your chest, you're simply going to take your arms around behind and just kind of stick your chest out forward. Okay. Now, for some low back stretches, if you're seated in a chair, you might not want to get in the floor. You can simply take your knee and just snug it up to your body. And that's going to stretch into your glutes and your low back. Just kind of pull them up like that. All right. Do y'all have any questions so far as exercise specifically, or? Okay. I wanted to make a few suggestions as things that were good to buy at home. Stability balls, those big bouncy balls, and I forgot to bring one in here. I apologize for that. But that is often a good option to buy for your home because you can practice balancing on those. And when you sit on those, that automatically makes you balance and work your core, okay? Now, I do suggest if you use those, get over by the couch or the bed or something so that you have something to hold on to till you check your balance and see if if your balance is well enough that you can sit on them. Be careful on them, but like I said, they do help with your core. Resistant tubings, if you don't have space for dumbbells, resistant tubings are good. You can buy those at Walmart, Dollar General. They're just stretchy bands that you can kind of wrap around your hands. Sometimes they'll have handles and they give resistance just from that stretch. That's kind of something that you might want to invest in. A timer, because if you do some interval stuff at home, and what I mean by interval is you do a little bit of cardio and then you do a little bit of strength training, a little bit of cardio, and a little bit. A timer is a good thing to have. A belt or jump rope for stretching with, because like if we did this one and we put a rope around our foot, sometimes that gives you a little extra stretch. That's something good to buy for home. But basically, if you get into your cardiovascular exercise, you do that 5 times a week. You figure out kind of what you like doing, and you work up. If you can't start with 20 to 30 minutes, work up to doing that. And then do your strength training at least twice a week per muscle group. And the little strength training thing we went through, that's going to hit each major muscle group. Now, sometimes when you start exercising, you really like the strength training. So if you do want to do something more advanced, I do encourage you to get some help from someone that knows, or either look up one of those online that are accredited by the American College of Sports Medicine, or ACE, American Council of Exercise. Those are 2 of the ones that we follow here, the guidelines that we go by. So do just kind of make sure that they're accredited people, because sometimes there are some crazy stuff out there. And we want you to be as safe as possible when you're starting an exercise program. And flexibility every time you exercise at the conclusion of your workout. All right, so everybody is ready to get started, I know. So each week, set your appointment time for your exercise. Make sure that you log it. And then if you need help, need variety, y'all do try to keep variety in your exercise. Even if you walk every day, walk at different places, because sometimes that gives you a mental variety so that you do not burn out on it. Because we don't want you to burn out on it either. That's something that happens. And group exercise helps prevent burnout too. So if you do have a buddy you can walk with or something, that kind of helps your mental side of it. Because I know not everybody wakes up every day wanting to exercise. Okay. I know some people really like exercise. Some people just torture through it. Okay. But it's kind of one of those things that we know that it's good for us. Okay. And even if we don't like doing it, to stay healthy, to lose weight, to maintain our weight, we're going to need to exercise. Okay. That's how we'll be healthier. That's what conditions our heart and lungs to be healthy. It's what keeps our muscle healthy, so that we can live a more productive life. And I'm sure if y'all are thinking about this surgery, that's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about your health. You're thinking about wanting to be able to do stuff that you may not currently be able to do. You may be having, knee, hip, back pain. Well, weight loss often helps that. Okay. And exercising just helps you feel good about yourself. I mean, when you can walk a mile, you feel good about yourself. You've got something accomplished for the day, and you've done something. You can check a box off. Hey, I've accomplished this. Okay. All right. So, any questions or concerns or anything about exercise? Okay. So I do encourage y'all, if you would like to stop by the Wellness Center for a visit, we would love to have any of you that would like to join any of our North Mississippi Medical Center Wellness Centers. As I said, we do follow the American Council of Sport. We follow ACSM, American Council of Exercise. So we try to follow those guidelines. We try to make sure everything we do is very safe for you, because we don't want anybody getting hurt. We want to make slow progressions and gradually go through your exercise to where you've made it a lifestyle change. And you probably will surprise yourself once you get started into an exercise program. You will probably grow to love it, at least a little bit. Okay. Just try lots of varieties of things to do. Even hiking and kayaking and things like that. Those are good suggestions for exercising and getting out and doing things. So it doesn't just have to always be the cardiovascular strength. That does need to be included, because that's how we get our heart health. That's how we get weight loss. And that's how we get our strength training to keep all that up, so that we can do all these varieties of things. But do have options of things you can do. All right, so nobody has any questions. I guess we are. Vivian, do you have anything? Are you still there? I don't know.
I am. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Do we have anything else that we need to
Let
have
me
anything?
see. Um, no,
We don't have
no
anything.
additional questions.
Okay, no additional questions. Okay, so I think I have went over everything. And I just encourage each one of y'all to get started in an exercise program. Start small, make gradual increases on it. And you'll be started to a healthier you. Okay. All right.
All righty. Thank you, Regina.
All right. Thank y'all.
And thanks to all the participants. We hope to see you back next month, the first Thursday of the month at 6 o'clock. Good night.